love making people feel better. Like, I feel like they had a bad day, they come out, they dance, they feel a little bit better. So I think that's the best part, is like being able to brighten people's day.
I had to learn how to trust myself. If I wasn't ready or I was unfit for the gig, it wouldn't be mine. Just had to start trusting myself and listening to myself more and really just owning my talent. My name is Helena. I go by DJ Lena Bandz.
My name is Basha. I go by Ndulgnce.
And this is DJs on DJs with SoundsBySa.
How did you get started DJing?
Actually, so I always made playlists, and I will always say, like, I had a playlist for every mood or vibe you could think of. And I went skating one time randomly in 2015, and my brother dragged me. Like, I didn't even want to go. And so I stood on the wall the whole time because I can't skate. And that was the first time I actually paid attention to transitions. And I'm like, oh, wait, what is he doing? So I like skated over there, and I asked him if I could watch. And he was like, yeah. And so I was watching, and he offered to teach me twice a week in exchange for like posting on his radio show. This is when I was living back in Arizona. I lived there for a few years. Okay. And yeah, I used to drive like an hour and a half each way, like twice a week. And I would literally be there for like 6-7 hours. And
okay, divine timing.
Yeah, no, literally, literally. How about you?
Well, my dad is a DJ. He's been DJing since like the 70s. So when I was a little girl, he used to actually take me to some of his gigs, and I feel like I never really paid attention for real because I was a kid, and all his family-friendly events, I was just trying to find other kids to just be around and not be behind the booth because I was like never really interested for real. But one day, we're at a gig, and my dad had to go do something, and he's literally like, hey, like, I need you to do something for me. When this song gets to like 15 seconds, he's like, just hit this button and move this over. He's telling me just like hit play, move the crossfader over to the other deck. Okay. And I'm just like, okay. And then like when it happened, 15 seconds happened, and I transitioned to the other song, and it's like everybody in the room kind of just like looked back at me, and in hindsight, I'm recognizing they probably looked back because I did not hit play on time. But I'm like 8 years old, so so when they turned around, they're just like, that little girl up there DJing, you know how our people be, so they just like, go ahead, baby, like you got. I'm just like, I'm like, oh, y'all like that? okay, cool. So I just put the headphones on, and I just started like vibing. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what the buttons were. I didn't know anything. And my dad was kind of just like, okay, you over here looking like you know something. So we had like a little studio in our basement. I would sneak down there whenever my dad wasn't at home after that, and I would just start messing with stuff. And like as an adult, he's telling me now that he knew that I was down there. He just like he just never said anything. Yeah, he just let me do what I was doing. And I started just like playing around with stuff until I just start figuring some stuff out. Okay. And then one day my dad came home and I didn't realize it. And he just like sat at the top of the stairs and just watched me for like 2 hours. I was just kind of vibing. And then after that, he's just like, you know, I'm going to show you how to do it. And then after that, when I was learning, he would take me, my dad was like really big on the stepper scene. So he would take me to some of like his stepper sets, and he would just be like, you want to get some practice in? And he would just give me like, 30 minutes, an hour, and we would like start splitting sets up, and that's how I would practice like in front of crowds, and I just took it from there.
What's the best and worst part of this business?
I would say the best part is that I get to go outside every day and do something that I love, and not only am I like getting paid for it, but it's definitely fulfilling for me. And that's definitely a blessing within itself, because everybody don't go to work and get to have a good time.
Yeah, so, that's true.
So I guess I would say that's the best part. The worst part, I would say just like for me, and I feel like I can speak for most of us, just like being women, just like the hoops that we have to jump through to just kind of exist here. I feel like that's kind of like the worst part. It's like I really struggle with that, especially just DJing in general. Like how many times I'm like setting up and somebody would kind of walk up to me like, oh, you know how to work this? And it's like, yeah, I'm in here doing my job. There's been times where like now I don't let none of my guy friends be in the booth with me.
Because they'll assume they're the DJ.
Yeah, it's like I'm clearly sitting here DJing, and like you have a question, you have a song, you have whatever, and you will like literally not acknowledge my existence and ask him, and he's kind of just like, she's a DJ. I don't even know what you're asking. I don't know what that is. But it's like even when they're told like directly, she's the DJ, you still don't acknowledge me. You just walk away. Like, you wouldn't even ask me the question. And then it's just like, oh, and it's just really weird that, like, we still have to go through that. And it's just like, I love the guy DJs here. Everybody's great. But, like, if I'm going to just keep it a buck, like, the girls got it. The girls have had it for a long time. So I just feel like we have to, like, kind of get out of that mindset. It's kind of just like people treat us as if, like, we don't belong here or something. Yeah. But it's like, we're actually really good. And I feel like a lot of us should be in a lot of those spaces that have just been fully male dominated, just off the strength of, like, there's a man that's running it. So I would say that right now, that's the worst part. And I feel like it's calming down slightly, because I feel like now we're getting used to seeing women in these positions, but it's still not, like, widely accepted yet. So
the worst part is definitely what you said. And I will also add, working in, it's a hustle, and I don't mind a hustle. Like, I like a little hustle, but having to hunt people down for my money.
Oh, look, if you're gonna talk about it, talk about it. Okay,
I've had to hunt my money down so many times, and it's just like that. I would say that's the worst part, because I'm like, my bills aren't waiting. So I would say that. Yeah.
Tell me about your DJing style. Are you zoned in? Are you a party participant? Are you the hype person? Like, what's your vibe?
My DJ partner has a running joke. I'm a Capricorn, and she says I have cat face when I DJ. I am, like, locked in, focused. Like, I'm looking around. I'll do, like, a little, but overall, I try to get somebody else with me to talk on the mic and entertain the crowd, because I'm like, I'm focused. It really is like an escape for me still. Even though it's work, it still kind of is an escape. So, like, when I'm up there, it's like, it's tunnel vision. It's tunnel vision. Like, sidebar, I cannot do whole conversations while I'm DJing. I know some DJs can. I'm like, please, I can say 3 words to you, and then I have to get back to it.
No, that's me too. So I get that.
What about you?
I feel like it changes. It depends on what mood I'm in.
You give me, like, you hyping people up.
It's like I'm there, but I just got there. I've always been, like, really shy, and like, one of my friends is a DJ, Campaign Camo, and what he started doing was, like, he like, Lena, like, you're literally the full package if you would just, like, start talking. And it's like, I DJ for a lot of artists. Like, I DJ for rappers, so it's kind of just like,
you gotta turn them up, girl.
I have to be on the mic when I'm with them, and it's like, to me, when I start doing that, it's like, I'm just doing my job. I'm not doing this because I want to do this. I'm so shy. But he's kind of just like, nah, like, if you take exactly what you just did for Lil Blessing and put this into your regular set, like, you're really hers. So I started coming to his sets, and he would just, as soon as I walk in, he just hand me the mic and would just, like, force me into it.
That. Okay.
So I'm getting used to it, and I'm adapting, and I'm kind of, like, learning, like, how to really hype people up. But before that, it's like, I just focus so hard on making sure that, like, I'm just blowing y'all minds with just, like, the types of transitions and mashups I'm doing. It's like, I really enjoy when, like, you hear something and you kind of give me that look, like, why would you do something like that? Like, what is this? And it's like, to me, it's like, that kind of, like, gave me, like, my escape to, like, not having to actually be on the mic.
What would you say was your big break?
I don't know if I would consider this a big break, but, because I started DJing because of my dad, when I first got on the scene, I was not on this side of the scene. I was with, like, all the old folks. I was, like, my mom was a skater.
Okay.
She was a stepper. My dad was a steppers DJ. He was outside with the skaters. So it's like a lot of my gigs were, like, really tailored to just, like, real soulful music. And
so you got a vibe.
Yeah, so it's like, that's what I was doing. So that's where, like, most of my bookings were coming from. But then I'm kind of just like, I mean, I love the old folks. I love y'all. But, this is the type of music that I just, like, listen to in my leisure time. Y'all aren't listening to. And it's like, I can't really play that at the gigs that I'm getting booked for. So I just started dropping mixes on SoundCloud with just, like, the type of stuff that I'm listening to, what I think is hot. And Illinois radio ended up picking up in, like, 2018. Pretty Riot did a write-up on, like, one of my mixes, and she's just like, I just came across her on SoundCloud. I feel like these transitions are so clean. Like, she's literally, this is, like, the best DJing I've heard in, like, a really long time. And, like, right after that, Illinois booked me for their show at Subterranean. Okay. And it was my first time ever DJing at Subterranean. And it was like a crazy vibe. And I feel like from there, that's where I met a lot of the people that I consider to just be like my tribe right now. It was just like at that show. And that was kind of just like my introduction to like what Chicago's like scene, like with people around our age, like actually looks like. So I guess I would kind of consider that my break into like the real Chicago scene.
Okay, that's real.
What was yours?
I would say the turning point was me, and I'm also in a duo called Ashe, with my DJ partner. Her name is Patricia of Chicago, and she and I got hit up to do a Beyoncé Renaissance themed party called Renaiddance.
Ooh.
But it was like a touring party, like just throughout the Midwest. And the first one was at Chop Shop, and we set it up like a concert. Like we didn't want it to just be a party, like we wanted it to be like a show. So we actually spent weeks doing it, and I had never like played in front of that many people. And after that, I felt like I just kind of got hit up a lot more to do. Like that was around the time I started taking it full time. Like it was like after that, the opportunity started presenting themselves. So I would say that. Yeah.
Okay, for a Renaissance themed party. Okay, I'm a Beyonce stan. So
look, Beehive,
okay,
real strong,
look,
real strong.
I'm here for it. What makes a great DJ to you?
Taking your ego out of it and reading the room. I think a lot, I don't say a lot of DJs, but in general, I think, and sometimes people even tell me, like, play what you want to play. And I'm like, no, I want to play what the people want to hear. Like, even if it's something I'm not crazy about, if I know it's going to help them have a good time, like, that's my goal. So I think, like, taking the ego out of it of, like, I want to hear this, and this is my vibe. And it's like, yes, my vibe, but like, how can my vibe cater to the room, right? So, like, for instance, I love amapiano, but if I'm in a certain space where I know, like, if I play it, it's not being well received, I'm not going to continue to play it anyway, you know? What about you?
I agree with that a lot. I feel like the requirements for DJing, like, since I've kind of been outside, it's kind of changing. Like, back when I first started, it's like, you can't really call yourself a DJ unless like you know how to transition like cleanly.
Yes.
You like your crates are like very well put together. You're well versed in music, like knowing how to read the room, knowing how to like MC, like knowing how to like basically do everything. You can't call yourself a DJ if you're not a record breaker. That's kind of how it was when like I was around my dad and like all the DJs that he was around. But it's kind of like now, especially with like what's going on with Serato stems, it's like if you just have access to a computer, it's like you could do it. So I guess right now, to be a great DJ, you know how to like leave an impression. You know just how to make people feel good. It's like people should be feeling good. Like they should be able to like really connect with you through what you're doing. So I feel like I agree, like definitely you're not like always playing like for yourself. But I feel like you should kind of like be feeding yourself a little bit through just like being able to express yourself like through it. Like I feel like with like my sets, I try to like kind of tell a story a little bit.
Like a journey.
Yeah, I feel like every set is a different journey that I'm taking you on, and I feel like I want to see you giving me that back, like having that reaction. And I feel like that's what's really making a great DJ.
Are you fueling another dream with this dream? And what does your end goal look like?
I would say, yeah, I am fueling another dream. I've always wanted to find some sort of like creative outlet where I could help kids. I just love kids. I love giving back. Like when I got out of high school, I was coaching. So since becoming a DJ, I've learned like how to like really connect with kids and kind of meet them where they are, like creatively with like just giving them lessons and resources, just getting them into music where like they have like proper outlets and like safety and stuff. So I do feel like just being able to DJ and still being able to like connect, I feel like my inner child is just like really happy about
like
that.
Feeding her.
Yeah, for sure.
So what is your end goal?
I haven't decided yet.
That's real.
I feel like right now I'm really just going with the flow. I feel like I couldn't have imagined the type of opportunities that have been presented to me with DJing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like I'm just working on God's timing with it, and I
I
know He gonna take me where I'm supposed to go with it. And I feel like earlier in my career I was really heavy on like this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go. But it's like I wasn't ready for those types of things. I'm recognizing because when they came later, it's like, okay, this is why I didn't have that then.
Yeah.
So I'm just going with the flow, and I'm learning to have fun with it too.
Not take it so like.
Yeah, because when it starts becoming your job,
Yeah.
like, you know, I quit my day job and was just DJing. Sometimes it changes that a little bit.
It does. It becomes work. It's like DJing is once an escape, and then you can't escape to work.
Yeah, it's like now, no, I need my bread.
Yeah.
So let's get to it. I feel it. What about you?
I would say it's fueling another dream. I also produce and sing.
Okay.
And I grew up like just musical in general. I play instruments. Like I really just like love making music, but I'm shy. And so I think DJing is a step. I tried the artist thing, and when it came to performing, I avoided every opportunity because I'm like, I don't like the microphone. I don't like it. So DJing has helped me get past a lot of my stage fright. I think I'll always DJ, but I definitely want to like pivot into making music and like, you know, having shows and things like that.
It's the perfect platform. Like, just think about it. You can just drop your own songs in the function.
And I believe that DJs throw together better set lists, like as far as like shows go. So I'm like, I'll be able to know like, well, we're gonna play this song after this song, you know, or we're gonna perform this song after this song. So I think it's a good stepping stone, but I will say I don't know that I'll be still a DJ at like 60, you know. But I love it. What advice would you tell your younger self when you first started?
It's your anxiety talking, Lena.
Trust your taste, trust your judgment.
Like, you're her, okay? Yeah. You're her. And I think another big thing is just like knowing like you will find your tribe.
Yeah.
Because I really struggled with knowing where I wanted to go and where I feel like I belonged, because I just felt like what I was doing was just so different, and nobody really like understood like the wavelength that I was on. But I would really tell my younger self, just be patient and have fun, and just kind of like vibe, because it's coming. Everything that like you're in your head about it's on the way.
It is. That's real. That's very real. Literally, even now, I think sometimes I still struggle with like imposter syndrome. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
Even my gig later today, like I'm like a little like nervous about it.
Girl, you got it. You got it.
But I get that about like bringing your vibe, because I will say I did like a few like nightclubs, and I thought that's what I wanted. I was like, yeah, I want to get in here, and I got in there, and I was like, this is not my vibe. Like I can't actually play what I actually kind of want to play. So it's like, I would tell my younger self, don't get caught up in the idea of what you think you want out of it. Just like allow yourself to find your way through it. I feel like I went in with these I'm very grandiose. I'm winning with these grandiose goals. Like, I want to play here and play here and play there. And it wasn't even really, it wasn't fit for me.
It's going to keep happening too.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Because that definitely happened to me like quite a few times. And I know like a big like culture shock to me was like, when I started getting in the clubs and like recognizing that like the club here, it's not the club in other places.
Yeah,
and like
that's true.
It's kind of this thing where like I feel like everybody talks about they want new music in the clubs and you want this, but every time I go, y'all want the same 30 songs that y'all just heard on the radio on the way here that you heard yesterday. And when I play something new, you're not really receptive of it. So for me, that was really hard to adjust to, coming from like steppers and house heads. It's like they not only are they dancing, but they just appreciate a good vibe. Yeah. They have a deep appreciation for just like me being well versed in music and me just knowing how to transition and get them places. It's like I don't get song requests at all when I'm doing those types of gigs, because if the music sounds good, if they can dance to it, if they can vibe, it's like they're actually having a good time. So coming back over here, and it's like, y'all good time is looking a little bit different than what Auntie and them is doing over there.
No, it's different. If I could give any advice, I would say stand your ground. I feel like it is very easy to get taken advantage of. Especially in, you know, male-dominated spaces where they're running everything and they can, you know, tell you like, well, this is when you're going to get it, or this is what I'm giving you. Like, stand your ground. Like, no, this is what I'm saying. If you can't do this, then I'm not working. Like, yeah, be stern. Stand your ground. What would you
I feel like I would say the same thing. I really feel like it's important right now that we are prioritizing our safety and our comfort. So all money is not good money.
Mm-mm.
The opportunities will come. Trust yourself, like trust your own discernment. Have fun. Don't let nobody tell you nothing about you, okay?
And don't let nobody question if you're the DJ or not. Let them know you're the DJ.
Thank you guys for listening to us today. I'm DJ Lena Bandz, and you can find me on everything at DJ Lena Bandz or DJLenaBandz.com.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. You can find me on all social media, Ndulgnce, no I, Ndulgnce, and Ndulgnce.com also.
Fun. I had a good time.
That's a wrap.
No problem. This
That was
was
cool.
fun.
Yeah. I know I was supposed to get on explanation. I thought about it because I wanted to say Nicki.